Well, yeah. So this was my very first game. One of the first games I had on Game Boy Advance, actually, which is like my system. So this game obviously has a deep connection to me. When I was a young and idiot child, I think I got to the Mirror World once.
Uh-huh. So you just didn't beat like the 3. You beat like 2 dungeons ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
I barely I restarted the game multiple times, and only once did I get to the Mirror World.
Why did you restart a bunch of times?
Because I thought I broke something. I restarted it, and I wanted to unbreak it.
This game is kind of it's esoteric. You gotta know where you're going a little bit. It's
Yeah.
not as bad as other games in the series, but
And I don't read text, so I don't. Everyone's like, oh, fucking, there's a fucking ice wand in the fort. I didn't know that. No one told me. Well, that's not true. They told me. I just didn't pay attention.
yeah. See, the reason that I played it so much is because I had it on Game Boy when I was a kid. I had it on the Game Boy Advance. That's the version we're playing, actually.
Yeah, that's the version I had.
Yeah. I just it's so good.
This is such a good game, though. But yeah, so that was my very first Zelda game. My second Zelda game I ever had was actually Zelda and the Minish Cap.
Oh, I love that game.
For Game Boy Advance.
The boomerang.
It was in Japanese.
Oh.
So I didn't finish it because I didn't speak Japanese, and it just got to the point where I couldn't intuit what the next part of the story was. So
you had to learn Japanese to play.
So I tried to learn Japanese, failed, and I didn't play the game.
Right.
So cut years into the future. I have a Wii now.
Yep.
And I get Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess for the Wii. And that is the very first Zelda game I have ever finished.
Wow. Twilight Princess, huh?
Twilight Princess. And it's because I was so dumb. I probably could have at that point gone back to Link to the Past and finished it.
Monkeys, I had a feeling you were getting close.
Monkey, listen carefully.
Okay.
All the soldiers in the castle have fallen under the wizard's spell, and I fear even worse that befallen my father, that the wizard is an inhuman fiend. His powers are strong. You understand?
Pizza time.
No.
Yes.
Good. We should go quickly before the wizard notices us. Okay. Not everyone's looking at you all the time, princess. Get over yourself a little bit. Come on. Let's be real.
Be 100% honest, princess. You're not the only maiden in this world.
You're not that good.
You're not the only maiden Link flicks his hair. But yeah, so that was my very first Zelda game I ever finished with Twilight Princess. And that was with the help of lots of cheats, lots of Wikipedias, because I am not a smart person.
That's a hard game, dude. I mean, it's tough. It's big.
The very first... So get this.
Shit.
You want to hear the very first Legend of Zelda game I've
damn it.
ever finished without Wikipedia pages?
What?
OG Legend of Zelda.
Really? That's wildly.
Cut
What in the world? I
7
didn't know
years
Game
in the... I didn't know that either. Cut 7 years in the future. I'm no longer a teenager. I'm now a young adult. I'm in college. I have a private office because of fortuitous circumstances. I had a private office. And I, instead of studying for my finals, decided I would play OG Legend of Zelda. And I had learned a little bit about OG Legend of Zelda just because on the Wii, they had like that weird game shop where you couldn't necessarily, you could buy games, but also you could play demos of games, and you could play the first OG Legend of Zelda for like 90 seconds, and then they kick you off. So I played the first 90 seconds multiple times. So I had a good idea about how the game kind of works.
Okay.
And I was an adult at this point, and I was still very stupid, but I was very stubborn. So I had graph paper because I went to school
Oh my
for
god, are you
engineering.
serious? That's awesome.
Yeah, and so on my graph paper, I literally mapped out the map grid by grid. And I
Dude,
would
that's
mark-
actually kick-ass.
Thank you. I was really proud. And then the Lost Forest, I didn't map out. I just sort of wandered, and by circumstance, I found the right answer, which is really happy because I thankfully didn't have to go back ever.
Right.
But
And you
But
just
yeah,
resolved
so, like-
to do it without any Google or anything.
yeah, and I resolved to do it, and then I finished the game. I didn't 100% the game because of like 2 of the hearts or whatever. You have to bomb random trees or something like that.
There's a hearty dose of that, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't do any of that stuff. So I found everything else and I did it. And that was the very first Zelda game I completed without a wiki. And I wish I had that map, but I had literally the entire grid of Hyrule and that map like mapped out, and if I bombed a place or if there was a secret I was going to go back to, it was marked on the map, so I always knew where it was. Yeah. So, like, to me, that's the essence of the game that I captured, and that's the game that I've always wanted to play. So when Breath of the Wild came out, fuck the story. All I did was explore Hyrule. The entirety of what I did.
Honestly, that's just the best way to play the game. There's no reason to follow any of the story. Honestly, it's good. It's great. Don't get me wrong. But, like, enjoying the world is its own reward, right? You don't need any kind of conceit to enjoy it, right? It's just its own wide open. It's so good.
Yeah.
Not the
No. I mean,
unpopular gaming opinion. Breath of the Wild, pretty great game.
Pretty great game. No, and you saw me play Breath of the Wild. I played naked with the weakest weapons I could find. With, I don't want to say no shield, but very little shield. I barely use shields. So, I love that little island that was just off the coast of whatever the fuck village that was. Where it's just like, it's just like, you've been relying on your gear this entire time. And I was like,
Start over, dickhead. And it's like, oh, alright.
I was like, I've been naked this entire time.
Yeah, you just
what are you talking about?
You don't know what you're fucking talking about, dog. You're just wrong.
So that island was actually pretty easy, all things considered for me. But actually, but okay, so this is, I haven't found anyone talking about it, so maybe there's also another obscure YouTube channel that has no views like us.
There's a piece of heart in here I can't get because there's bombs there. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I don't have any bombs. But, so
you're supposed to bring the bombs when we went on the Princess Hunt mission.
I'm sorry, I'm not the explosive expert. You want fucking knives or axes? I got a buttload of those, but I have no bombs.
Could you imagine if you were an explosive expert? That would just be you would be a radically different person, I think, if that was your specialization, instead of it being like martial arts.
I literally have no pyromanic tendencies. It would be very weird for me.
I have a few.
No, I don't. I have no desires to set fires.
No, you're right. You gotta feed the fire desire.
No. I mean, like, imagine everyone's stupid, crazy fire obsessions, and take everyone's lack of a water obsession, and then shove that into me. Like, I was the kid who's like, looking at rapids that would most definitely kill me, and thinking, I can probably survive that. And then my parents literally having to hold me back so I don't drown.
No, son, don't get in there.
But I wanna drown!
Get me in there!
I sense
Yeah,
that
so-
a mighty evil force guides the wizard's actions and augments his magical power. The only weapon potent enough to defeat the wizard is the legendary Master Sword. But the only person remaining with any idea of where this blade may be is the village elder.
This might be the priest, actually. I'm not sure if this is Zelda.
And one of the 7 sages. Perhaps he can tell you more. I mark his house on your map. But we must take care. I am certain the castle soldiers are looking for you and the princess now. 2 of you cannot stay together. So I shall hide the princess over here.
So I shall play Hide the Princess.
Do not worry, Link, Monkey.
Monk?
I am a Catholic priest.
No.
Zelda is
my God.
completely safe with me.
Zelda, let's go back at the rats. Uh-oh.
No. Got trapped. You punked yourself in. Oh my god. No, but so.
Sorry.
Okay.